Alright, again, as usual, I'll try to keep this short. This topic has to do with a lot of discussions that I see and read and hear about to a certain degree. I watched a video on YouTube to an extent pertaining to this. It's done by Thule Productions. I don't know that guy's name, but I know that's the name of his channel if you want to check it out. It had to do with not exclusivity, what is the word I'm trying to think of? Well, basically, kind of like being independent or keeping to yourself, being, kind of a hermit, almost is what his video had to do with. So I'm sort of going to go over that a little bit. A lot of people within heathenry, and even within the nationalist movements, are very, very independent, very closed off. You know, they're kind of solitary practitioners. And I can understand that. It can be very hard to find truly like-minded people. And I said like-minded, not same-minded. We don't all need to be clones of one another. That's not what I'm trying to say. But it can be hard to find other individuals who are similar enough to yourself to actually truly get along with them, to truly feel that you have any kinship or connection to them, and to trust these people. This can be hard to find, which is understandable. But in this modern age, especially in your Western nations such as America, you have this this completely hyperactive sense of individuality. Everything is me, I, all the time, constantly, 24/7. Whoever dies with the most toys wins. Like it's some sort of little kids game. Like, let's see who can get the most toys. The most just mundane, petty shit, basically. And everybody is concerned with only themselves and only right then and there in that moment, what can give them the best immediate satisfaction and gratification. Nobody can think about the past. Nobody can think about the future, even the not oh so distant future. They just can't bring themselves to think that far because, well, that takes away from me thinking about myself right here and now. Well, this is bad. This is not good. This is not family-oriented. It's not kith and kin oriented, which could be family, extended family, not necessarily blood. It could be in-laws. It is not tribal or kindred thinking. Thinking about yourself is fine. Everyone thinks about themselves. That's that's common. I mean, yeah, automatic. Obviously, it's kind of an automatic thing. You're going to think about self-preservation. But preservation of self also has to do with your legacy, with your bloodline, with your family. So if you want to preserve yourself and have yourself continue on, then you need to preserve your own kind, preserve your folk, preserve your family, your bloodline, your family name, your legacy. Make sure that you leave behind a good and honorable name, that people will remember you, even if it's just within your own family. That is perfectly fine. That's good. That's a perfectly good thing. You don't have to be a world-renowned individual, even if it's just your own friends and family that remember you. That's perfectly fine. But also on the Thule Productions channel, he kind of talked about being solitary as far as a heathen, or what he prefers to use the term Norse pagan. Being solitary to a certain degree is good, because there are certain things that are just easier to do on your own. It feels more comfortable. You can, if you have a poem that maybe you'd feel embarrassed to read in front of other people, when solitary practice, you can do that. And you can read that poem aloud. to the ancestors, at your altar in a sacred grove, at a tree, whatever you want to do. If you have a song that you wrote that you want to sing, something like that, you won't be embarrassed about it when you're by yourself. Or maybe there are certain things that, say, in a blot or symbol that you may want to ask the gods or the ancestors for, but you don't feel comfortable talking about that around other people. Again, that's understandable. That's something you're going to want to do in solitary practice. So yes, I fully agree with the Thule Productions and other people who state the same thing, that yes, to a certain degree, your heathen practice, your faith, your religion, your spirituality should be very personal. Should be something that you should do, alone, without other distractions, without other people around you to make you feel self-conscious or silly or something like that. That's perfectly understandable. I fully understand what he's saying there. But still, we should not be solely individualistic in this manner. We should be able to get together with a group, a kindred, a tribe, or just one or two other people that you feel are brothers or sisters to you within the faith or within your movement, that you can speak plainly with, that you don't have to be worried and fearful of what you say around them or to them, that they'll accept what you have to say. And at the very least, just take it at face value. Be like, well, I don't know if what they're saying is necessarily true, but I'll just take it at face value. It is what it is, whatever. Things like that. And even when it comes to spiritual practice, there are smaller, lesser rituals and things that you can do within a group or with another person there. Keep things small and simple. There's nothing wrong with that. You could be having just a small ritual, small libation ritual with a kindred brother or sister, whatever the case may be. Pour out a small libation and simply, ask the gods and ancestors for something, small, like, you just want them to lend you their aid in, your daily struggle, or, just give you a sense of peace, or lend you their strength, and guidance to help, raise your children, or to, do good at a job, help you with that, give me guidance, give me strength, give me fortitude, help me be, a good worker in this job, just, give me a good sense of calm. Little small things. You can do that with other people present and not feel embarrassed about it. There are things you can do. You can make small boast and toast. There are many things that you can do with other people around that doesn't necessarily have to be, completely and utterly private, in solitary or anything of that nature. You don't have to do everything in that manner. Because having kindred, having tribe is good. We are social creatures. It speaks in the Havamal more than once, numerous times, about basically man is man's delight. Travel to a friend's house often. Things like that. That kind of stuff is quite often spoken of within the Havamal. Within the lore in general, really. So, there's nothing wrong with participating with other heathen or nationalist individuals in a group setting. Even if it's a small group, it doesn't have to be a large group. There's nothing wrong with that. That's a good thing. We are social creatures. We are meant to act in a tribal manner, to interact with our other fellow people of our own kind, of our tribe. Fellow, similar, like-minded individuals. That's good. We should do that. So there's nothing wrong with that. Sometimes it is okay to think about the bigger picture, about the tribe, the family, and our folk in general.